All right, boys and girls, name code Dustin here, Fantasy Basketball. We're doing some rankings. Hopefully you've seen some of the other shows. If not, click on those. We're talking about power forwards here. If you start with power forwards, leave a comment, because I find that interesting. I do.
You always want to know which video they start with.
I think it's interesting.
It's really not that interesting. As long as you watch them all, that's all that matters.
Hater.
Anthony Davis, our #1 center.
Brow!
#1 power forward, sorry, don't comment about that.
Ooh.
Almost 3 blocks a game. This guy's amazing. He's gonna go first round. He should go first round. I love this guy. Fun to watch. Kevin Love, new home in Cleveland. Hurts him just a little bit, but you're still paying top dollar for him because he's gonna do it all and he's gonna have another good year.
All right, tier 2, I'm talking about 2 guys at the bottom of this tier. The first one's Thaddeus Young out there with Minnesota, replacing Kevin Young. He's always been, what is it?
Kevin Young.
Mixed it all up. Either way, I like this guy out in Minnesota. He's going to be taking Love's spot. Should have plenty of opportunity to get a lot of points, decent amount of boards, and he's slipping down draft boards, so certainly like that. And the other one that slips way too far is David Lee. I don't care about Draymond Green. I know he's pretty good. David Love, though, is really solid. His percentages are always great. He could be a 20-10 guy as well, and he goes way too far because of the chance Draymond Green might get more minutes. Golden State's going to be fighting for playoffs and getting good seedings in the playoffs. They're going to play David Lee. It's not like they're going to sit him, only playing 15 minutes a game. Draft David Lee confidently in the middle rounds.
Moving into tier 3, Manimal, Kenneth Faried, one of the most fun basketball players to watch because he's an NBA player that actually hustles. And you don't see that very often.
Ooh.
He's fun to watch.
Dig on all NBA players.
Most NBA.
John
At least
Wall hustles.
we'll watch in the playoffs. They try in the playoffs. Get you a steal, get you a block a game. I like that. He's going to rebound for you. And the last guy in this tier is Terrence Jones. A lot of hype around this guy for a lot of years. I think this is the year he takes it to the next level. I think he's going to get a solid amount of minutes. I like him.
Former Kentucky boy. All right, tier 4. Going to start off with Tim Duncan. What? Why is Tim Duncan so low? You guys are crazy.
Is that how everyone talks?
It is. It changes every time. We're not that crazy. Just because his minutes are going to be so reduced, you're going to get a million did not play coach's decision. When he does play, obviously he's a very solid player. It's just we don't want to take gambles on guys that might hurt us when it counts the most in the fantasy playoffs because that's the end of the year and that's when he sits the most. And then Ilyasova, got to talk about him. He was so good the second half of like 2 years ago. And we're still waiting for that potential to come back. It might happen this year. We just love him as a late round flyer. Really has the skill set to do it all. Get a lot of points, get the blocks, hit some threes, get some points, get some steals. He could be fantasy gold. It's just he didn't really do it last year, so we can't rank him any higher. But he's got the chance.
Tier 5 got a couple rookies for you. Julius Randle's the first guy. He's a high draft pick for the Lakers. Lakers, you got to think they're kind of rebuilding at this point. We're not really sure how many minutes he's going to stay out on the court, so that's why he's got to be ranked this low. But this is a guy to pay close attention to because if he does get a run, he could be solid. And then Aaron Gordon out in Orlando. He's got Channing Frye out there to deal with. Kind of a raw player. He's got some potential. If he gets some minutes, he can get some stuff for you. We're not expecting a huge scorer out of him, but he's definitely a guy that you're going to want to pay attention to because if he ends up getting minutes, it could be decent.
All right, tier 6. Sorry, I'm doing it again. I'm talking about my bullets. Nene. This guy was very solid when he's on the court. He is fantastic.
Big win. He's on the court because he's not on the court at all.
Big win. But when he is there, he's great. Last year when the league won the championship, I traded Garnett for it, and I'm still loving that trade. He's gonna be solid when he's out there. You're looking at 15 and 10 almost every night. And then Bargnani is an interesting guy. I know he was a flop last year for the Knicks. But in the triangle, it really does fit his scheme, especially if he is playing that stretch forward position. He could be hitting some threes. Again, it's a late round flyer at this point. And I like him as a late round flyer just to see if you can get some threes out of a power forward. That's always, it's nice.
In the last tier, I'm going to talk about Draymond Green. I know Brent was pooping on him a little bit earlier. And there is a good reason to. He's not going to start over David Lee, but I think he could take his game a little bit to the next level as far as them finding a way to get him some more minutes, just get him some time out on the court. He's got some potential. And then Noah Vonleh for Charlotte. Here's a guy pretty raw. We'll see how he does. They drafted him to bring him in to help with their big guys. We'll see how he does. McRoberts is gone, so he's the guy to keep an eye on.
Close it up, Dustin.
Name go over here, Dustin right here. This is power forwards. Check out all the other tiers and rankings. Too high. Too high.